What's good with y'all boys? Hey man, we back with another video, you feel me? We took a little break off, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is a little poor, you know what I'm saying? My PC broke, I had to get a new one, but we back in action. Today, we watching NBA YoungBoy has Lil Baby begging to stop beefing with him. Now, I ain't seen none of this, but you niggas better stop playing with YB, fool. Bro, YB been doing this to you, but you see he just pressed the Montana 700 nigga at the concert down here in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Niggas better chill, bro. We finna get straight into it. Let's do it.
I ain't with that. Hell no.
Lil Baby's goofy ass is getting exposed right now for leaving Lil Durk's side and meat riding YoungBoy. I'm break down how Lil Baby is now begging to be cool with NBA YoungBoy after it's looking like his boy Lil Durk ain't coming home any.
How y'all feel? Y'all think Durk coming home, bro? In all honesty, I think Cuz is cooked. He whooped his whole career and his shit out here getting crushed by other niggas. Don't go to jail.
This ain't just some regular industry politics. This is about fake loyalty, switching sides when it's beneficial, and how these rappers will abandon their so-called friends the moment things get too hot. No cap, by the time I'm done telling you this story, you're gonna understand why the streets are calling out all these fake industry relationships. When Baby and YoungBoy were cool. First, let me paint the picture for you, gang. There was a time when Lil Baby and NBA YoungBoy were actually cool with each other, making hits together and showing mutual respect. This wasn't no fake industry friendship. These two were genuinely rocking with each other's music and energy. Back in 2018 and 2020, Baby and YoungBoy linked up for some tracks that went crazy. We talking about songs like One Shot and Cross Me, tracks that showed these two had real chemistry in the studio. When they got together, it was magic, and the streets could feel that both artists respected each other's grind and authenticity. The psychology behind their early friendship made sense. Both of them came from the bottom. Both had that raw street energy. Both were young dudes trying to make it out the hood through rap.
But where is these flowers coming from, fam? What the hell? Hey, bro, remember YB and Baby was supposed to drop an album together, my nigga?
They understood each other's struggle, and that mutual respect translated into good music and a solid relationship. But here's where it gets crazy. All that friendship and mutual respect went out the window the moment industry politics got involved. When the beef between YoungBoy's camp and OTF started heating up, Baby had to choose a side. And instead of staying neutral or supporting his friend YoungBoy, he chose to ride with Lil Durk. The deeper psychology, industry friendships versus real loyalty.
Before we get into this whole for real, bro, don't be that nigga just flopping sides and shit. Here's how I feel about shit like that. Like, cause I've learned from my own like mistakes in life on some shit. But if a nigga beefing with another nigga and you cool with both them niggas, just stay out of it. But if it's another nigga and y'all both not cool with them, cool. But like, it's just like shit. This shit really ain't got nothing to do with me. That's just like, yo, homeboys, they tripping over some bullshit. Them niggas be like, they trying to punch and shit. And all you can really say is, man, y'all tripping, fool. Bro, y'all wildin'. That's all you can really tell niggas. That's one of them situations. You shouldn't have chose sides. Now, it's like, now that everybody in ATL is telling on niggas, it's nothing, like, niggas don't even want to fuck with you no more, baby. And your music, that shit's...
Let me break down what's really happening with these industry relationships, because this type of fake loyalty is everywhere in hip-hop. When rappers are coming up, they form bonds based on mutual struggle and respect. But once they get successful, those relationships become about business, politics, and what's most beneficial for their careers. Baby and YoungBoy's early friendship was probably genuine. They were both hungry artists trying to make it, both dealing with similar struggles, both grinding to get to the next level. In that environment, loyalty feels real because everyone's in the same boat. But once they both made it big, the dynamics changed. Now it's not about mutual struggle, it's about protecting your position, maintaining your relationships with the right people, and making sure you're on the winning side of any conflict. That's when fake loyalty starts to show itself. The crazy part is, Baby probably convinced himself that choosing Durk's side was the right move. Maybe he thought OTF was more powerful. Maybe he thought YoungBoy was gonna lose the beef. Maybe he just felt closer to Durk personally. But whatever his reasoning, he abandoned a friend when that friend needed support the most. The King Von incident, when everything changed. Now let me break down the incident that changed everything and forced everyone to pick sides. On November 6th, 2020, King Von was shot and killed outside a hookah lounge in Atlanta after getting into a fight with
Shout out Lil Tim.
Lil Tim, Quando's homie, shot Von during the altercation, and Von died from his injuries. This wasn't just any regular street incident. This was the death of one of the most promising young rappers in the game, someone who was close with Lil Durk and represented the future of OTF. Von's death sent shockwaves through the entire hip-hop community and created a situation where neutrality became impossible. The psychology behind what happened next is deep. When someone dies in a situation like this, it forces everyone connected to pick a side. You can't stay neutral when blood has been shed. You can't claim to be friends with both camps when one camp just lost their brother. The streets demand loyalty, and that loyalty gets tested in moments like this. YoungBoy and his camp.
But how did the nigga end up getting shot? Like, it's the fact that y'all should have just hooped right there. You niggas didn't hoop right then and there, and now y'all got the shit over whooped right now. Like, if you niggas would have just had a shootout right there, niggas would have died, it'd just be like, oh shit, fuck them niggas, but like, it wouldn't have been no ongoing beef. Dirk in jail, you niggas is losing. Why be on tour going stupid?
Including Quando Rondo, were now in a life or death beef with OTF. This wasn't about rap anymore. This was about real street politics, real violence, real consequences. And in that environment,
This game,
Do I want to edit this shit out?
you're not ready for it.
No.
and everyone had to decide where their loyalty really lay. Lil Baby's choice, picking Durk over YoungBoy. Here's where Lil Baby showed his true colors, and it wasn't pretty. Instead of staying neutral or supporting his friend YoungBoy during one of the most difficult periods of his life, Baby chose to side with Lil Durk and OTF. This wasn't just a business decision. This was a betrayal of their friendship. In that interview, Baby made his position clear when he said, "I don't care about rapper beef, but if somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side."
You can get like, and I ain't into like two rappers beefing. Like, I ain't into that. Like, I ain't like, don't mix me with it.
Why?
If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. For real. If somebody died, I'm gonna pick a side. Other than that, don't mix me with that shit.
That makes sense.
For real.
Did this happen before that? Because if so, this is a crazy fucking turn of events, my nigga. Because he really, you know what I'm saying? These boys,
I get it.
And somebody did die, King Von, which is exactly what he was referring to. Baby was basically saying that Von's death forced him to choose Durk's side over YoungBoy's side. But here's what's crazy about that statement. Baby was essentially admitting that he was willing to abandon his friendship with YoungBoy because of something YoungBoy didn't even do. YoungBoy wasn't there when Von got killed. He didn't pull the trigger. He wasn't even involved in the situation directly. But Baby still chose to turn his back on him. The psychology behind Baby's decision reveals a lot about his character. Instead of being loyal to his friend, he chose to be loyal to whoever he thought was more powerful or more connected in the industry. That's not real loyalty. That's opportunism, disguised as loyalty.
he a businessman.
YoungBoy's realization, the industry turned against him. After King Von's death, YoungBoy started realizing that the entire industry was turning against him. Artists who used to show him love were now distancing themselves. People who used to collaborate with him were now avoiding him. And former friends like Lil Baby were openly choosing sides against him. This realization hit YoungBoy hard, and you could hear it in
That's why YB the best rapper right now. That nigga had he done beat the whole
his
industry.
music. He started talking about feeling isolated, feeling like the whole industry was against him, feeling like he was fighting the world by himself. That type of isolation can mess with your head, especially when you're already dealing with legal troubles and street beef. The psychological impact of this industry blackballing was probably devastating for YoungBoy. Imagine being one of the biggest artists in the game, but feeling like everyone in your own industry wants to see you fail. That's the type of situation that can drive someone to paranoia, depression, and extreme defensive behavior. But instead of letting it break him, YoungBoy channeled that energy into his music. He started making songs about the fake loyalty, the industry politics, the way people switched up on him when things got difficult. And that authenticity is part of what kept his fans loyal even when the industry turned its back on him. The "I hate YoungBoy" diss, calling out the whole industry. When YoungBoy realized how deep the industry blackballing
We know
went,
this.
he decided to address it head on with one of the most brutal diss tracks in recent memory, I Hate YoungBoy wasn't just aimed at Lil Durk. It was aimed at everyone who had turned their back on him, including former friends like Lil Baby. In that track, YoungBoy went at the entire industry for trying to blackball him. He called out the fake loyalty, the way people switched up when it became convenient, the way former friends abandoned him when he needed support the most. It was raw, it was honest, and it was a direct response to feeling isolated and betrayed. The psychology behind that song is fascinating. YoungBoy was essentially saying, if y'all gonna turn against me, I'm gonna call all y'all out. Instead of trying to make peace or play politics, he chose to go to war with everyone who had betrayed him. That takes a certain type of courage and authenticity that most artists don't have. But the song also revealed how hurt YoungBoy was by the industry's treatment of him. You could hear the pain in his voice, the frustration of being abandoned by people he thought were friends, the anger of being blackballed for something he didn't even do directly. The alleged revenge. Durk's downfall begins.
This ain't got nothing to do with this video, bro. I miss this shit, though. I miss y'all niggas, man. You feel me? We gotta get to it. We gotta get this paper.
Fast forward to August 2022, and the streets started talking about some serious retaliation. Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Cobb was shot and killed in Los Angeles, and immediately people started pointing fingers at Lil Durk and OTF as being behind the hit. According to the feds and the evidence that's now coming out, Durk allegedly orchestrated a murder-for-hire plot to get revenge for King Von's death. The plan was supposedly to kill Quando Rondo, but they ended up killing his cousin instead. This wasn't just street justice. This was allegedly a calculated, organized hit that crossed state lines. The psychology behind this alleged revenge plot shows how
this is what got Lil Durk locked up.
In OTF. Losing King Von wasn't just losing an artist, it was losing family. And when you lose family in the streets, the code demands retaliation. But taking that retaliation to this level, allegedly using resources and planning to carry out hits across the country, that's what got the feds involved. What's crazy is that Durk's alleged need for revenge might have been exactly what destroyed his freedom. If he had just let the streets handle it naturally, if he had just focused on his music and his success, he might still be free today. But the alleged obsession with getting back for Von is what allegedly led to the murder-for-hire charges that could put him away for life.
And that's why he got locked up, man.
This is what the world's most advanced PC looks like.
Durk looks cooked.
Bro, that's crazy, fool. Like, you, bro, man, you paying other niggas to do shit for you. What was why you ain't pay them other niggas to shoot them that night? What the fuck? Niggas just be around a dick eating.
Now let me break down why Lil Durk's situation looks so bad. Because the evidence the feds are presenting is damning. We talking about wiretaps, financial records, travel documents, and testimony from co-conspirators. This ain't no regular street case. This is a federal conspiracy case with multiple defendants and serious evidence. The feds are alleging that Durk used his OTF label as a criminal organization, that he paid for hits, that he coordinated travel and logistics for murders. They got him on tape. They got his financial records. They got people who are willing to testify against him. That's the type of evidence that usually leads to life sentences. What makes it even worse for Durk is that this is federal court, not state court. Federal prosecutors have a conviction rate of over 90%, and they don't bring cases unless they're confident they can win. The fact that they arrested Durk and charged him with these serious crimes means they believe they have enough evidence to put him away forever. The psychology of facing this type of case is devastating. Durk went from being on top of the world, winning Grammys and making millions, to potentially spending the rest of his life in prison. That type of fall from grace can break someone mentally, especially when you realize that your own actions led
a nigga did say a couple years ago, where you see yourself in 5 years, he said jail, so shit.
To your downfall.
He said, well, you see yourself in 5 years, I say the feds. That nigga really in the feds, man.
The switch up, rappers abandoning Durk. Here's where it gets really crazy. And this is where you see the fake loyalty in the industry for what it really is. Now that Durk's case is looking bad, now that it seems like he might not be coming home, all these rappers who were riding with him are starting to distance themselves. The same artists who were dissing YoungBoy and supporting Dirk when he was free are now liking YoungBoy's posts on Instagram. The same people who chose sides against YoungBoy when Von died are now trying to make peace with him now that Dirk is locked up. That's not loyalty, that's opportunism. Lil Baby is the perfect example of this fake loyalty. When Dirk was free and powerful, Baby was riding with him, choosing his side over YoungBoy, making it clear where his allegiance was. But now that Dirk is facing life in prison, Baby is liking YoungBoy's Instagram posts and trying to get back cool with him. The psychology behind this switch up is simple. These rappers are more loyal to their careers than they are to their friends. When Dirk was winning, it was beneficial to be associated with him. Now that he's facing serious time, it's beneficial to distance themselves and try to make peace with his enemies. Lil Baby's Instagram activity, the desperate attempt at reconciliation. The most obvious sign of Baby's switch up is his recent Instagram activity. This dude who chose Dirk's side over YoungBoy, who publicly stated he was picking sides because someone died, is now liking YoungBoy's posts like nothing ever happened. That Instagram like isn't just social media activity, it's a message. Baby is trying to signal to YoungBoy and the industry that he's ready to make peace, that he's not loyal to Dirk anymore, that he's willing to switch sides now that the power dynamics have changed. But here's what's crazy about this move. It exposes Baby's character completely. If he was really loyal to Dirk, he would stick by him even when things got difficult. If he was really principled about his decision to choose sides, he wouldn't be trying to switch back now. The fact that he's doing both shows that his loyalty was never real to begin with. The psychology behind this type of behavior is pure self-preservation. Baby sees which way the wind is blowing, realizes that Dirk might not be coming home, and decides to protect his own interest by trying to make peace with YoungBoy. But that type of calculated loyalty switching is exactly what's wrong with the industry. The pattern. Other rappers doing the same thing. Baby isn't the only one switching up now that Dirk's situation looks bad. Multiple artists who were previously supporting OTF and distancing themselves from YoungBoy are now trying to make peace. The same people who were part of the industry blackballing are now liking posts and sending subtle messages of reconciliation. This pattern reveals something ugly about the hip-hop industry. Loyalty is conditional, friendships are business relationships, and principles get abandoned the moment they become inconvenient. These artists don't have real loyalty to anyone except themselves and their careers. The crazy part is, they probably think they're being smart by switching sides early. They probably think they're protecting their careers by distancing themselves from Dirk before his case gets worse. But what they're really doing is showing everyone that their word means nothing and their loyalty can't be trusted. YoungBoy is probably watching all this switch-up behavior and taking notes. He's seeing who was really with him and who was just following the crowd. He's seeing who has real loyalty.
All these niggas dick eating basically in the industry. Same way niggas outside be dick eating.
And who just goes with whoever seems to be winning at the moment.
You gotta be on my end, bro.
The psychology of fake loyalty in hip-hop. Let me break down why this type of fake loyalty is so common in the hip-hop industry, because it's deeper than just individual character flaws. The music industry is built on relationships, connections, and being associated with the right people at the right time. That creates an environment where loyalty becomes transactional rather than genuine. When artists are coming up, they form relationships based on mutual benefit. You help me, I help you. We both get to the next level. But once they reach a certain level of success, those relationships become about maintaining position and protecting interests rather than genuine friendship and loyalty. The pressure to stay relevant, to stay connected, to stay on the winning side creates this environment where people will abandon friends and switch allegiances based on what's most beneficial for their careers. It's not personal, it's business. But that mentality destroys any possibility of real loyalty or genuine relationships.
Hold on now. We ain't gonna say that. Cause when was the last time a nigga heard some Quando Rondo shit that was hard? I'll wait.
What makes it even worse is that hip-hop culture is supposed to be built on loyalty, realness, and keeping it 100. But the industry side of hip-hop operates on completely different principles: opportunism, self-preservation, and calculated relationship management. That contradiction creates the type of fake loyalty we're seeing with Baby and others. YoungBoy's position, the vindicated outsider.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea
and a drive to bring it to life.
From YoungBoy's perspective, everything that's happening now probably feels like vindication. He was telling people about the fake loyalty, the industry politics, the way people would switch up when it became convenient, and now everyone can see that he was right. YoungBoy maintained his position throughout this whole situation. He didn't try to make peace when it would have been easier. He didn't compromise his principles to get back in the industry's good graces. He didn't abandon his
Cause he
people
ain't no
when
bitch.
things got difficult. That type of consistency is rare in the industry. Now that Dirk's situation is looking bad, now that the people who turned against YoungBoy are trying to come back, YoungBoy is in a position of power. He can choose who gets forgiveness and who doesn't. He can decide which relationships are worth rebuilding and which bridges should stay burned. The psychology of being vindicated after being wronged is complex. On one hand, it probably feels good to be proven right about people's fake loyalty. On the other hand, it's probably disappointing to see how shallow these industry relationships really are. YoungBoy probably wishes he had been wrong about people like Baby. The street code versus industry politics. What this whole situation reveals is the conflict between street code and industry politics. In the streets, loyalty is everything. You ride with your people through good times and bad times.
Cap.
You don't abandon someone just because they're going through difficulties. You definitely don't switch sides based on who's winning at the moment. But in the industry, loyalty is conditional. People support whoever is most beneficial to their careers. They distance themselves from anyone.
Nigga, that's how the streets is now. Niggas is only cool with niggas for some money, fool. Niggas just backdooring niggas and some more shit.
Who might hurt their image or their business relationships. They make calculated decisions about friendships based on what's most advantageous. Baby's behavior is a perfect example of industry politics overriding street loyalty. When it was beneficial to support Dirk, he supported Dirk. Now that it's potentially beneficial to make peace with YoungBoy, he's trying to make peace with YoungBoy. That's not street loyalty, that's business calculation. The tragedy is that hip-hop was built on street principles, but the industry has corrupted those principles into something unrecognizable. The realness, the loyalty, the authenticity that made hip-hop powerful has been replaced by fake relationships and opportunistic behavior. The long-term consequences, trust destroyed. The long-term consequences of this type of fake loyalty are devastating for the culture. When artists can't trust each other, when friendships are just business relationships, when loyalty is conditional, it destroys the foundation that hip-hop was built on. YoungBoy is probably never gonna trust Baby the same way again, even if they make...
Okay, that shit's over with. Shit, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, my nigga. You feel me? I don't know how many we gonna post today. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about this. If y'all got some more shit for me to react to, send that shit to my DM, 2P Buddha on Instagram. I love y'all. We out of here.